Hey, shalom, George, and Silver Crane Martial Arts. How much snow did we get? We got about, I don't know, down here it doesn't look like that much, 4 to 6 inches, but it was freezing cold. It's possibly going up to 35 today, so hopefully with this sunlight, most of this will melt. But our roads are solid ice. I used one of my hacks. I don't know if you crew members check the community page, but I put a hack up there about using ash to melt snow, and it works awesome, especially when it's sunny. So that's what we treated part of our. We have some serious slopes here. We treated some of our sloped roads with ash yesterday, and it's already melting. It says there's 10 of you in here. Everybody just say hi. You can even just post a wave, or you can just say hi, but I'd like to know who's in here so I can give you a shout out. There's Stray Kitten. Hey. There is Thomas Henning. Shalom. There is Old Trapper. Howdy. Thank you for being a channel supporter, Old Trapper. There is Tim Pack. Shalom. Have you been driving around? There is Aid. There is Jacqueline Hembry. Hi. And Melanie Rice. Hi. So I just shot 2 videos down here. I haven't been down here in a while, and it's just a really nice, quiet place. But also, I got to be quite honest with y'all. It is sort of difficult to hold a camera and film yourself. One, and you guys have seen some of my videos. I don't do that well. I'm a little shaky these days. But also, it's kind of difficult to set up a tripod in such a way that it shows you the way you want to be shown, and for it to be steady. And the really big deal is for me to be sitting down when I do a video. I can do walks and talks, and I have done walks and talks. But like right now in this snowy winter wonderland, trying to walk and video would be horrifying, because you got to watch every step you take out here. You end up tripping on something or sliding and falling down, and then you've got this camera and a walking selfie stick in your hand, and Lord knows where they get thrown when you're falling down. It's a thing. So another reason I like my orchard is because I'm sitting on a bench. It's a bench made by prisoners. One of the what do you call it, money making, not rejuvenating, teaching prisoner skills and teaching them things they can do with their time and energy programs is making wrought iron, not just furniture, but like decorations, lamp stands, plant stands. You can even request at this particular program to have them make something for you out of wrought iron. And so they make the frames for these benches, and then they cut the wood and they put them together. And so these were a birthday present, and the design is really cute. If you have 2 of them, the back of it moves, right? It lifts up. It's on a hinge. You can put 2 together to make a table, like a picnic table. And I love them. So another reason I come down here is because, given the right circumstances, I can set that tripod up and I don't have to hold it. It's not shaking. And you can see my hands moving when I'm talking. I can brush my hair out of my face and stuff. Whereas when I've got a selfie stick, it's very awkward. So that's a long explanation. Let's see. I mostly listen to these videos anyway. There's a Ledwin Mayer. Rehabilitation, that is the word. Yes. Yeah. It is cool. It's a really cool program, and I made sure to buy. They also made something that's in our early videos that's really neat. It's called a candelabra or a candelier, and it's a hanging wrought iron metal frame that you can put candles in to light your house with. And because we were off grid when we first moved in, we didn't even have a solar setup or anything. We bought that candelabra, and that's how we used to light the house in the evening. Pastor rigged a 550 cord from the wall to like a eye hook thing, and then it has its own chain, but the 550 cord tied to the chain and then hanging that over the middle of the house. It was really neat, and the prices were good too. That's the other thing, because it's prison labor. Um, the prices were not outrageous, and of course the prisoners got a certain amount of whatever the price was put into an account for them. So yeah, I'm from the U.S. Where are you from, sister? Sister in the faith. And there's Patty Sanchez. Shalom. Hey, Patty, I just got the word on the women's retreat. Okay. All right. Let me see your other comments. Grit works great to give you grip on the ice. It would. If you had sand, it would work. We just happen to have a lot of ash. Where are you going, Aid? What are your chromosomes at Boss Dog? I mostly listen to these videos anyway. Good morning. Okay. Virginia. Oh, Virginia's a gorgeous state. I love Virginia. Virginia's full of early American history, too. It's just I love Virginia. You're here talking about the faith, but I saw you throwing it back for a pack of Newports. Ha ha, Tosca. Yeah. I think they call people like you a troll, which is fine. As long as you're not insulting, I don't care one way or the other. I would not be near a pack of Newports ever. But my faith is not based on whether I like to smoke cigarettes or not. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Patty, I'm not going to say yes or no. Let me just say I know the dates. And you're going to Abilene. Abilene. I think Pastor and I bought a pair of cowboy boots way back when on our honeymoon trip in Abilene. Tony Lamas, I think, was the name of him. Don't quote me on that, though. It's been a long, long time. And it's probably going to take you, 3 days to get there, right, Aid? Texas is a big doggone state. Oh, it is the menthol that gets a person, says Anne Marie. I haven't smoked in decades. When I smoked, well, let me just tell you a little story. Would you all like to hear a little story? I had a llama named Tony Llama. At least, right? He guarded my old sheep. Sure. Yes. Okay, so I was never a smoker. My mom smoked, and I remember being in like 5th or 6th grade. They show us a movie. They used to do this in school, health related, showing a person's lungs who's healthy, and then a person's lungs who's been smoking a really long time. And of course, the healthy one is pink and looks good, and the person who smoked black and all shriveled up. And it scared me, because my mom was a widow at the time, and she was relatively young, and it scared me. And so when I came home from school, I said, Mom, I got to talk to you seriously. And I did, and it affected her. Like, she understood that, her children were scared for her health, and so she eventually gave up smoking. So fast forward, now I'm in college, and I start dating this guy. His name is Joe Fox, and Joe Fox smokes. And so other people that we knew smoked too, and I'm like, well, what the heck, let me just see what's going on. So the first cigarettes I tried to smoke were menthols, and they were like menthol lights. And I would not even inhale the smoke into my lungs. I was like, no, I don't want that anywhere near my lungs. So I would just inhale the smoke into my mouth. And because I like mint, it wasn't terrible. I don't like the taste of smoke, but the menthol mintiness was kind of like, all right, this is okay. So I smoked for maybe 2 weeks. And then I'm like, you know what? Just not loving it. Not loving having fire in my hand. And if I drop it, I could start a fire. Like, not loving the fact that ashes could burn my clothes, makes my breath smell bad. Nah, not about it. So I gave it up. And like in the same time frame, because my husband is that kind of guy, and he started dipping tobacco. And I'm a curious person. I'm kind of a scientific mind where, I'm going to try something and then come to a conclusion after it. I'm not going to think, wow, dipping's really cool, I must do dipping because it'll make me cool. It was like, well, what is the attraction? Why would people enjoy this? And so I started to dip little mint packet things. I think it was mint only. I don't even think it was tobacco flavored mint. I think it might have just been mint leaves. And I dipped that for a little while. It had carried them around, in my lip, and spit in class, spit into a can or whatever. And people would go like, "Are you dipping?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm trying it out." And they thought it was cool, but I was like, I don't see the attraction. Quite frankly, I think chewing minty gum is more enjoyable for me. And so I quit that about 2 weeks later, and that was it, y'all. I'm like, I'm just not the personality type to think, yeah, I absolutely need to do that thing. If it's not really benefiting me, and it's kind of a pain in the butt because now you got to switch this thing out and you got to throw it in a can and whatever, I gave that up too. Total waste of money. What about vaping, Anne-Marie? Are you joking? Are you joking, Anne-Marie? Not just no, but hell no. Vaping is still inhaling some sort of chemical down into your lungs. Whatever it is, whatever, it's vanilla flavoring, it's strawberry smell, whatever, it's still a chemical going into your lung. Like, and I'm not trying to insult anybody. This is my particular opinion on this topic. You know what your lungs are made for bringing into your body? Fresh air, which is what I'm sitting in right now. Air that these trees around me have breathed in my carbon dioxide, and they've breathed out the oxygen, and I breathe the oxygen in, and I breathe out carbon dioxide for them to breathe in. That's what our bodies are designed for. And the oxygenated air that you bring into your body goes into your lungs, and your heart pumps it full of that oxygen to your entire body. All your organs need that. They need that clean blood exchange to function correctly. And so that's why when people vape or they smoke weed or whatever, your alveoli down in your lungs get gunged up with that stuff because that's not what they're designed to exchange. They're designed to exchange this. And like one of the things that grows here on our property is moss, and another thing is lichens. And the lichens are air exchangers too. They're air cleansers. So like there is no way in the world I would spend the money to ingest into my lungs something like a vape or even weed. No, that's not no. Mm-mm. I never got addicted to tobacco, so it was easy to stop. Me too, exactly. I quit vaping. So hard to kick, said Patty Sanchez. I'm glad you kicked it, though. I think that's a wise decision, Patty, and that's what I want for everyone else. I want them to understand, because I'm in my 60s, y'all. If you want to get here, you've got to live a certain way. I've known people in the past who are younger than me who never got beyond this point. Sometimes it's genetics, sometimes it's accidents, and sometimes it's just your behavior. You've got to be intentional if you want to keep going. Let me see. Dano, not in the lion's bed. Good morning. SK Shalom, all. I love that tea. I wish I had a tea right now. Stopped the tobacco a long time ago. It was harder than giving up booze. You do know, see me. Yeah, Pastor had to quit tobacco like 3 or 4 times because that nicotine is very addictive. But I'm not an addictive personality either. I had people in my family who were addictive, and I saw the train wreck that comes from that, and I thought, I want no part of that. So I intentionally make decisions like this. I make choices. Just like I make a choice with my with my faith too. I didn't just come to the choices I made of my faith by just, blindly going, all right, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, let me pick that. I saw other faiths. I experienced other faiths and came to my decision through experimentation. I'm only on 3 doctor prescribed meds now. I forced myself to get off a bunch of meds that was prescribed, and I got a lot better. Well, very good. I quit vaping. So hard to kick. Okay. My mom smoked heavily and rarely aired the house. I was a secondhand smoker throughout my childhood. Lots of plants in the house. It helps the air a lot. Winter keeps it shut in. Exactly. Houseplants are great. I had a lot of trouble quitting chewing. It was tough, said old Trapper. Yeah, that nicotine, that tobacco is addictive. So's caffeine. So's cat. There's whole groups of people who chew cat all day, and they don't really need to eat because it suppresses their appetite and it gives them a lot of energy and it rots their mouth. And I'm just not about that stuff. I'm about this. This is what calms me. This is what I'm comfortable in. It's, I don't know, 20 degrees, I think, out here today. It's going up to 35. And something on my lip bothering me. I've got 2 pair of gloves on. I've got a hat on. I've got 2 scarves. I've got 2 sweatshirts and the coveralls, 2 pair of socks, and winter boots. And I've been out here for more than an hour, and I'm perfectly comfortable. It's something you also get used to. If you consider yourself an outdoor person, an indoor person, you will, in going outside, have a hard time initially. If you go out when it's hot and you're used to air conditioning, you're going to feel that heat. But the thing is, the more you go out, the more you get used to it. And suddenly the air conditioning seems too cold, and you can bear up under a lot warmer temperatures as you get acclimatized or acclimated to it. It's the same with the cold. I come out in the morning, same temperatures, and feed my cat. I walk out on my porch, it's 20 degrees, I have a cup full of cat food, I put it in her bowl, I call her, I maybe pet her a little bit, and then I go back in the house. I am not freezing cold when I go in. I can stand to be out in this in less than what I'm wearing for short amounts of time. I can go feed my chickens in my pajamas with a coat and a hat on, but I haven't put on my long johns. I don't have my insulated stuff on, because humans, you're actually very, very adaptable. Humans are adaptable. And so, you can do a lot of things that you don't normally do if you just go do them. And it's exciting. You'll find out. You are capable of so much. Have to feed the goats and chickens, got used to 15-ish. Yeah, minus 15-ish. Okay. Guys, let me see your comments here. Shalom, Miguel. Patient, long-suffering. I love that title. Quit as many addictions as you can today. With how the world is looking, the only way with this self-production is going into that beast system. Without self-production, that mindset helped with the alcohol and cigars. Have to feed the goats and the chickens. I think your blood thickens. There was a woman, hey, novice prep, there was a woman, Diane something, who used to swim in really cold water all the time, and her body adapted, and she grew like a half-inch layer of fat all on her body that insulated her while she went on these freezing cold swims. I don't remember if she was swimming in Alaska or across the English Channel or whatever, but that was her thing, and her body adapted. There's also people who run marathons in Alaska and Antarctica, and the one woman was a little teeny weeny who won it one year. She was this little bitty vegetarian woman, and she outran everybody. We are capable of so much. There you go. I can't believe people lived during the Ice Age. That would have been rough. You just have to wear enough insulation, and fur is very warm. I quit every addiction I had, thankfully, mostly did it for religious reasons. Well, sure, your body's a temple. You want to keep your temple clean. Wim Hof. Sadly, many can't see through the charade. I'm a vegan. All right, y'all. Anybody got any more questions or comments? I've got things to do this morning, and I'm going to head out here in a minute, but I don't want to cut anybody off. It's the same thing you wanted to say. We used to run every other day in -20 at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin. Eventually you get used to it. Those first couple of weeks, though. Yeah, right? Fort McCoy, what kind of fort is that? Is that an Army base? Thank you, Sister Kate. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Jacqueline Hembry, for coming to the live stream, hanging out with me for 20 minutes. Yeah. Have a great week, says, oh gosh, Bad Wabbit. Oh, good to see you, lady. Thanks for supporting the channel. The trick is, hang on, what is most unique seeds you are planting in this year for the garden? That's a good question. I don't know that I've got anything really unique. I have my old reliables. I've already planted potatoes and peas, and I think everyone should plant peas because so much alternative health food these days is made from peas. Like, I got protein pea chips for my pregnant daughter because they have protein, but it's not bad protein. You know what I mean? It's not meat-based. Not every protein you eat needs to be meat-based. And peas have very little fat, if any. They're very, you can eat them frozen, you can eat them fresh, you can put them in your stir fry. Obviously, you can make them into pea chips. You know, they're very versatile, and they're easy to grow, and they're fast maturing. So I plant peas all the time. Most exotic thing I plant is like Swiss chard, which I don't think is exotic. Like, I'm not a, oh, what do they call those things? Oh, gosh. Artichoke. I don't grow artichokes, you know, things like that. I have passion fruit that grows wild here. I think that's kind of exotic. Yeah. Patty Sanchez is going to be one who could give you something better. Let's see. Layers for cold weather. It sure is. And good gear. Wool is great. Army. Never heard of it. That's cool. Have a blessed day of prep. That's right. Today is prep day. Good to see you too. Shalom, Tracy. Asparagus bed is going in next month. We've had it cooking all winter. Yeah, there you go. Asparagus. I don't think that's exotic. It's really good. Oh, there's Tracy Clark. All right, y'all. Bless you so much. It is a day of prep. I got to go do prep stuff. I'm down here just chilling, enjoying stuff. And it's like, hey, I got to sweep floors. I put away clean dishes already, but I got to make some meals, make the bed, sweep the floors, feed some more animals. Everybody else, please have a blessed prep day too, and a restful Shabbat. We will see you. Shalom.